Welcome back to a new episode of See the Little Things from My Childhood Bedroom. We spent the past few weeks in Germany because of COVID and catch up on the episodes weekly so we fool you into thinking we're sailing because we still have a lot to cover from last season.
And there's still a lot more to come, so don't worry. We still have 6 weeks of footage left.
6 weeks and then that's it. Yeah. Game over.
Then we have to show you what happens in the childhood bedroom. Also, it's not just weeks, it's been months. It's been a very long time.
Anyways, we thought we use the time to answer some of your questions that we found in the YouTube comment section or on Instagram. And there are so many questions that we want to answer. But we only have a limited time today. Run the timer. Stage is yours.
Welcome to a different episode of See the Little Things.
Oh, you're starting all over again. I thought you just continued.
So I think the first question is the one we really got the most.
Did you know how to sail before? Do you have a license? And what kind of license can you recommend? That's a very good question.
Nope. We didn't really know how to sail. We did do some lessons in Berlin about 3 years ago at a university because it was quite cheap, and we got about 10 weeks of lessons where we learned how to sail small dinghies on a lake in Berlin, and we got a lot of theory, and of course we had to do an exam, which was quite funny because there was no wind. Further, we have a license called SBFC, so we are allowed to sail or drive an engine that is over 5 horsepower.
15.
What?
15.
15? 15. This is how good we know our theory. It was mainly theory for the second license, but no practical lessons. So that's what we learned. And after that, we just joined somebody on a boat like 2 or 3 times. And then the first time we drove a big boat ourselves was actually when Blue got into the water. In my opinion, we did not know how to sail. Not really. We knew some basics and that's about it.
I think there's a big difference between knowing how to sail and knowing how to handle a boat. We did know how to sail because we did those courses and we know how to set up the main so we move forward. But there's much more than that when you're actually on the water with that kind of big of a boat as ours, which is not that big compared to the people that we know now. But boat handling is the thing that you learn when you're on the boat and when you have your own boat and when you do the maneuvers. Of course, there's also a course to do that, but we didn't do that one, because we thought we rather make friends that show us how to do this and save some money. Our recommendation is do your mandatory courses, of course, because also your insurance needs to see that. And you probably need it because you're a citizen of a country that needs a driver's license for boats. But further than that, if you're adventurous, that can be enough. So take it slow and know that you know nothing. Then also we have an SRC VHF license because we have a VHF on board. In the course you also learn about the Global Maritime Distress System. Global Maritime Distress and Safety System.
The Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, short GMDSS, is an internationally agreed upon set of safety procedures, types of equipment, and communication protocols used to increase safety and make it easier to rescue distressed ships, boats, and aircraft.
And how to use the VHF when you call in for a mayday. And how an EPIRB calls to the satellites so you get actually rescued by the Coast Guard. So that's a good thing to have.
So to sum it all up, we did know the theory of sailing, but we had never really done it in practice on a big boat. We learned the boat handling on Blue Juice with the help of some lovely friends that we made in Greece. And for you, there's basically 2 routes you can go. You can either do what we did, just do your mandatory licenses and learn boat handling on your own boat, or go do like a 2-3 week course in the Canary Islands or in the BVI's or something, which will probably be a lot of fun. And then you might not feel as insecure as we did when Blue got into the water the first time. Boat handling, anchoring, how to moor up and all these things. We didn't know any of that before, and everybody of course has their own way of doing it, but we wrote down the things we wish we would have known before and that would have helped us a lot, things that we learned from other sailors. We all wrote that down in a little booklet, which will go online soon, and if you want to support us in any way, that would be a cool way, and you also learn some of the things that we learned. So the second question is, what language do you speak with each other, and why does Mandy have an American accent? Well, that is a question we actually do get a lot. So I can start with the American accent part. It's because in Holland there's a lot of American and British TV shows, and they don't dub it, they just subtitle it. And I've been watching Friends since I was about 9, I think. And it is my absolute favorite show. All my English from there. So that's probably why I have an American accent, and sometimes even might use a few phrases that are a bit New Yorkish. I've heard, I really don't know. And in case you're wondering how good I know the show, ask me anything and I will be able to answer it. I can basically recite every episode by heart. It is a bit embarrassing, but I've seen every episode about 20 times.
In Germany, things are a bit different. We do have mostly Hollywood movies and American TV shows on TV, but they're dubbed to German language. So we have voice actors for Bruce Willis, for everyone famous you can think of, and it's always the same person. So generally, Germans aren't as fluent in English as the Dutch, because the English culture doesn't pull through that much, and everything's German. Even the jokes, they try to adapt it to German kind of humor, which is sometimes sad, sometimes even sadder. And sometimes it's funny. We know each other for 10 years and we know each other so well that we finish each other's
sentences all the time. And when we met, we actually didn't speak each other's native tongue, and actually one still doesn't. But when I moved to Germany about 3.5 years into our relationship, I got a job there and I learned the language also because, well, I kind of like languages and I studied Spanish, so I'm a big language fan. Alex not so much, so that's why I speak his and he doesn't speak mine, I guess.
As soon as we left Germany, we switched to English because it's nicer for everyone, and you kind of make more friends when you talk English.
We do speak a lot of English, mainly because it's a bit harder to speak German all the time, at least for me. And at least when we speak English, we're both not speaking our native tongue, so that seems a bit fairer.
More fair.
It seems a bit more fair? No, fairer is still a thing, right? Well, anyway, I prefer English over German. We'll see. Alright, so what is the next question?
Do you find the space on the boat gives you enough space to have time to yourself? Does it?
Well, you start. You're the... Oh, Jesus! That was big. Anyway, I think that question is more important to you than it is to me. Okay, so I think that really depends on what kind of person you are. I mean, I don't need a lot of space to myself, and I really don't mind having people around all the time. I actually like that better than being alone. To me, it's alright, the space. And you can close doors, you can go outside, you could go for a walk if you want. I mean, it's not like you're on the water all the time.
We are most of the times on anchor. So one of us is doing groceries or going outside or going for a swim, while the other stays on the boat. I'm a bit different. I need some personal space sometimes, but we have headphones. So we can hide behind Netflix, so that's not an issue at all.
Are you sure? Sometimes I need to run away.
There was a second part of the question. Would you purchase a larger boat to get more space? I think if money allows, everybody always gets a larger boat.
Yeah, that's true. If we would have more money, we'd probably get a little bit of bigger boat. Although we wouldn't get a lot bigger boat. I like the 361 for many reasons. And just a tiny bit bigger. Like the 393 would have been our perfect boat.
If you're retiring and you have enough money saved up, I think with a 43 you're gonna be fine no matter what.
40, 43, something like that. That's nice. That's true.
Is the time on the boat the longest time you've both been together, 24 hours a day?
When we were still living in different countries, we visited each other for a couple weeks in a row, and we always spent time on our rooms because we were students, so we didn't really have a big space to live. We mostly spent time on like a 16-20 square meter bedroom, which was not really bigger than the boat, maybe even smaller, to be honest. So we were kind of used to that. That's what our whole relationship was like. We only saw each other in small spaces for a long period of time. I think that worked really well for us. So yeah. All right, next question. How much time do you spend maintaining the boat?
That's a good question. And it always depends on what time of season it is and where you are. Because the winter season is the place where you do most of the maintenance. And when we got the boat, we hired professionals to do it because we didn't know anything. So we could start the season carefree and cruise around for 6 months. On the way, some things happen all the time anyways, but that's just minor fixes and not really maintenance.
Yeah, plus I think we got a bit lucky with our boat because we got a couple of small things fixed, like the rigging was new and we had to fix the fridge and a couple of other small things. But further, nothing major happened. And of course, every week you do, I don't know, you do a few small jobs, maybe fix a screw or something really small like that. But I think we only spent maybe a couple hours every week maintaining the boat, and most of that was actually cleaning it. But that's
during season.
During season, yeah. Since we arrived in Valencia, which we will soon in the videos too, we spent quite a lot of time. But most of those were actually boat improvements. So, you know, it depends on how much time you want to spend also improving the boat.
So in the winter season, there's not much you can do sailing-wise. So you basically spend all day long maintaining and improving the boat. What is the ratio sailing versus motoring?
Well, I guess it's about 50-50, to be honest, at least in the Med. I think it could be a bit less, a bit like 60-40, 70-40, sailing versus motoring. But Alex is a bit impatient when we sail sometimes, especially, of course, if we want to get places. So he tends to turn on the engine a bit quicker than I would. I think in the Med, 50-50 is realistic because the wind is very volatile. It changes all the time and it is very hard to get places then.
There are about 7 major winds in the Med and they change all the time. And then you also have katabatic winds from the islands.
Those are good.
Those are good.
Yes, I like those. Well, they're very strong and then you can still and have fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you never know what actually hits you. And if you have a bigger stretch, you plan a lot and you wait a lot. But further when you want to arrive at a place in the light, but further, if you don't want to arrive in a place in the dark, then you mostly have to turn on the engine once a day.
All right, another question that we also get a lot, probably from people that are looking for a boat, and that is, can you circumnavigate the world in the 361? And I think you can circumnavigate the world in any boat if you want to. It really depends on what you expect from your boat and how comfortable you want to be. We've met quite a lot of people that actually have or had a 361 and they are extremely happy with it. They mostly bought it when it came out, like in 2000, 2001, and they have crossed oceans and they are happy and it sails really good. I mean, of course we have no comparison because it's, you see, the loud ducks, the goose. We don't really have a comparison because it's the only boat we ever owned and sailed, but to us it's very comfortable and I definitely cross an ocean in it, and I think Alex does too, right?
Maybe one thing to add to crossing oceans with a 361, I think the hull and the construction itself are seaworthy, and I think most boats are seaworthy for oceans, but it mainly depends on the equipment you put in, and do you have enough water, do you have enough electricity, do you have enough means to make electricity, do you have enough diesel, do you have enough spare parts. I think it more depends on the equipment and the spare parts that you have on board than on the boat itself. So if we want to cross an ocean with our 361, we will probably improve the solar, we will get good batteries, we make sure we have enough water, spare diesel, maybe a wind vane, check for a second autopilot. So these additional accessories that will probably make your life easy on an ocean are more important than the boat itself.
In our opinion.
In my opinion.
In our humble,
in my opinion, that you should never listen to, because I know nothing.
Okay, very last question for today.
Jean asks, what are your sailing plans for the upcoming season? How far are you looking to roam?
Well, that is a good question. And the thing is that with the current situation, we've had a lot of options and a lot of plans, and it kind of changed every week, I'd say. But for our actual plans, if you want to have an answer to that question, we will answer that in the next Q&A, because we would like to go a bit deeper into the options and the possibilities and what we will do.
And with that, we go back to the studio. In the past few weeks, we prepared a little web shop that's going to go online soon. We prepared a little booklet, and also we make a lot of photos. And I spent some time finally editing the best of the best. So we are offering prints. So these are the things that you will find on the website without the frame, so you can find a frame yourself, and it's also easier to ship. We did thorough quality checks.
Yes.
And the print quality is outstanding.
I was actually super surprised. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah. So that's only slightly crooked. Just yeah, I think we can live with that. And of course we also have some like standard merchandise, t-shirts and stuff like that. That's also going to be on there.
Really? Do we have that already?
Yeah.
Okay.
We already have a Teespring shop. Alex designed all of the t-shirts himself and he had a lot of fun doing it. So check out all the designs that he made. There were some really cool ones there.
Anyways, if you want to support the channel and keep us afloat, that's a great way to do it. You have something nice to hang up on your wall or stick on your car.
Or read about. If you have any questions, write them in the comments down below. We will be doing another Q&A soon and try to be less cringy next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye bye.